So did the classic event live up to the hype? If you don't know, the classic event was a 5-day-long nostalgic Roblox event. The event brought back the old blocky design of the game and gave old players a wave of nostalgia. There were 15 games that were in the event, with each game having 10 ticks and 5 tokens to collect. You could buy in-game cosmetics with the ticks, and you could buy avatar items with the tokens. All of the games were Adopt Me, Arsenal, BedWars, Swarm Simulator, Blade Ball, Clipit, Dragon Adventures, Dress to Impress, Driving Empire, Dusty Trip, Gunfight Arena, Livetopia, Restaurant Tycoon 2, Toilet Tower Defense, and Tower Defense Simulator. And I'll throw in the main hub of the game as well. But was the event good? First, let's look at what each of the games did for the event. The main classic hub was probably one of the best things that was made in the event. It had the old blocky style, it had different obbies and mini-games with tokens and ticks as rewards, and it just encapsulated the entire 2006 to 2018 era of Roblox. Adopt Me's contribution to the event was just bad. To complete Adopt Me's part in the event, you would get a newborn pet, and every time you aged it up, you would get a token. There were also 10 ticks hidden around the map. Sounds easy, right? No. Every 2 minutes or so, your pet will need something from you, and you would need to fill 10 of your pet's needs to age him up once. You could imagine it took me a while to do. Arsenal's part in the event was probably one of the best games in the event. You had a whole quest, which probably took 20-30 minutes to complete, and I had fun the whole time. The only bad part of Arsenal's event was that you would most likely have to replay it to get all the tokens, because to get all 5 tokens, you would need to complete a run normally, complete a run solo, complete a run in under 20 minutes, get all of the ticks, and complete a run using only the classic weapon, the weapon you spawn in with. BedWars' part sucked. You had to defend your bed against 10 waves of penguins coming to attack, but the penguins were so stupidly overpowered that I just ended up not completing it. I wanted to punch my monitor so bad because I couldn't get past wave 5. Blade Ball was pretty standard. The only problem was that it took like 10 hours to complete. You would get 3 quests, and each quest would give you a certain amount of XP, and you needed 120 XP to get to the last token. Once you've completed your 3 quests, another 3 quests will show up, and it will just keep going until you get the token. I was actually pretty impressed with Blade Ball because they designed a whole boss battle to fight, until I saw how much I needed to do to fully complete it. It took me about 3 days to complete that stupid thing. Swarm Simulator was actually pretty fun. You had to defend your hives against 10 waves of zombies and stuff. But unlike BedWars, the enemies were actually balanced. You would get a token every 2 waves you defeated, totaling up to 5 tokens when you beat Wave 10. The reason I didn't end up completing it was because we lost right before Wave 10 was completed, and I wasn't going through all that again. For Clipit, you had to find 10 ticks throughout all the maps, and there would be 5 hidden classic characters, such as Builderman, John Doe, 111 and others. Every time you filmed a character, you would get a token. Dragon Adventures was probably the worst one. You had to find 2 Ticks eggs and 5 classic eggs to get a meteor, destroy the meteor to get the token egg, then hatch the token, and Ticks eggs to get the token and ticks, and then you were done with 1 world. I say 1 world because there were 5 worlds to complete and the eggs were stupidly small and stupidly hard to find. There was also a game pass to find all the eggs, so the event was basically pay to win. I didn't even complete the 4th world, it was so stupidly hard. I went into Dress to Impress expecting to be disappointed, but was actually surprised. You would find 10 ticks around the lobby and dressing room, the last ticks being hidden in a place no one would check for no reason. And then you would complete an obby to get the 5 tokens. The obby wasn't too difficult, but also wasn't too easy. So I would say this was one of the better games in the classic. Driving Empire sucked. You had to do the same race about 100 trillion times to get the tokens, and there was that same Game Pass problem that Dragon Adventures had that helped you locate the ticks. The only reason this was better than Dragon Adventures is because you could actually find the ticks without the Game Pass, and the Game Pass was only 10 Robux. A dusty trip was pretty good. You had to drive to 10,000 meters, then do a boss battle to get all the stuff. Again, it wasn't too hard, and it wasn't too easy, I just didn't complete it because I didn't have enough time. For Gunfight Arena, you had to get all the ticks to get the classic weapons, and you had to get 50 or so kills with each classic weapon to get all the tokens. It takes a while, but the game is pretty fun, and I'm convinced the people you fight are bots. For Livetopia, you have to go shopping, then deliver the groceries to random people around the map. The only problem is, you have to do it 15 times, and that takes a while. I hated Restaurant Tycoon 2. Every minute or so, around 2 classic customers will show up at your restaurant. The problem is, you had to serve 150 classic customers to get the badge. It took so long that I had a fully built and operated restaurant by the time I got the last token. Toilet Tower Defense actually had me surprised. I went into thinking I would hate it, and I was right, but I hated it a tiny bit less. The boss was actually fun to fight, and the animations were good, but again, I didn't have time to complete it. Tower Defense Simulator was just a way better version of Toilet Tower Defense. Unlike Toilet Tower Defense, though, the gameplay was really good and I had fun the whole way. I didn't complete it, though, because I didn't have enough time. So did the classic event meet the hype? Honestly, most of the games just didn't put enough effort into their parts, and I'm kinda hoping Roblox is gonna go Mappa style in the next event. But the biggest issue is there wasn't enough time. Even a no-lifer like me couldn't complete the classic in time because there were only 5 days for 15 games with so much to do in each of the games. Honestly, they should have given us at least 2 weeks to do it. I'd say it's a little worse than The Hunt, but it makes me glad that Roblox is bringing back these events.